just like jail. We're live, by the way. Probably should have gone to the bathroom before I did that.
You can go right there.
I'm about to. I'm a boot to, eh? I'm a boot. I'm a boot to. I'm a boot to, eh? I'm a boot to. Bunch of roaring outlaws at high speed. At the end of, just know, hey Rick, just know that whenever you do come on, just know that when you do come on, you have to crawl underneath the table to get to your chair. Yeah, probably. Found me one night.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, I was singing happily. I gotta get up and pee anyway, so I guess that was a stupid question. Tommy Sledge.
So during a break or something, I'm gonna have a sign or something.
Well, we can't have nice shit, Tim. That's why our shit sucks and doesn't work. You get drunk. Apologies and corrections. I thought we would go through the intros, apologies and corrections, and go through. You have audio pulled for books, where we can do commercial. I already have all that preloaded on the buttons. I got all that handled. Right. So at 7:15-ish, 7:20-ish, it's about a 3-minute break. Apologies and corrections. I got two of them. But yes, 35 minutes. Can I pee in Lane's bed?
All right. Good meeting. Still a little limited.
It's just going to be
It's a shit show.
Yeah, it usually is.
Thanks for backing me up. Because I usually will.
Fuck both of y'all, you can leave it anytime.
We want to put our order first for $2.99.
Doesn't mean that I don't love the shit show.
I want to put our order first. How do you know how long?
What are you ordering from?
Papa John's.
They can do that?
It says
It's cheating.
let's do it. Priority added. Place order.
You get the pineapple on it, right?
And chips.
Yeah.
I want to be able to watch it like Domino's. 26 to 30.
I was just a normal guy. Life was just a 9 to 5. Bills and pressure piled up to the sky.
So much better.
Got my truck.
She knew I did. Hanging with my wild friends.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, honey. How are you?
3 days straight with no big beat.
I know, right?
I think I'm in trouble.
Felt like I was talking to somebody else.
I'd pass out on the bedroom floor, sleep right through the calm before the storm. My life is just an old routine. Every day the same damn thing.
Wait, I'm on my phone. Tim never wants to go to
I never said that.
You never said you wanted to.
I'm down.
The Windsor. See, we're not talking about tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, she's a slut.
Oh my God.
Who?
I'm on at 7.
I don't know. I mean, we
Your
talked
mom's
about-
slut?
I just bought like $40 worth of scratch offs. I need to see how it goes. One time,
This reminded me that I was lost.
Dude, I don't like these little cans.
We're going to do these way too fast. It's cheaper.
I don't think it's the can's fault, baby.
She heard you, jackass.
What?
He's not even wearing his headphones. I'm all like, I just bought I just bought a case of those. I just bought a case of those for less than $20.
I bought these for $17.
A 12 pack.
12 pack.
I bought
Big
a
red,
case
big red.
of little ones for $2 more.
16.
Joy and Cody say, hey, from Colorado.
Oh,
I want to be in Colorado.
Joey?
Yes.
Hang on.
When do you do a show from Colorado? It's on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live.
Yes. My sweet wife, my best friend, but I traded that for cocaine and a whore.
Big red, big red.
Give it to me, Lance.
Make sure you mute your laptop.
Push, push. Give it to me, Lance.
Lance. Big red, big red. I'm going to change that to say the clap. You know what that is, Lance?
Give it to me, Lance. Give it to me, Lance. Push, push. Give it to me, Lance.
Welcome to the Rug Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim, and I am Commando.
She's 3.
He was comfy where he was.
He'll come back and go to sleep.
So, how do you know this Joy Gladden person? Because I also have a friend named Joy Gladden.
What have you?
Oddly enough,
Have you stalked her yet on Facebook and looked her up?
no.
She used to hang out with me at the Flying Saucer. Her and her husband used to hang out with me at the Flying Saucer.
I do have a friend named Joy Gladden from Port Arthur, Texas, that now lives out in California.
No,
I was like, that's really weird.
my Joy Gladden was from here and moved to.
I had
Colorado.
a crush on my Joy Gladden.
Well, you might have a crush on my Joy Gladden too.
Is she blonde?
Yep.
Damn it. Of course.
About 2 in the morning a couple weeks ago, Tim and I were working. We heard a song and suddenly became distraught over how he had treated his fifth grade girlfriend.
Yeah, I did.
Like, emotionally distraught about how he had treated
Because we just saw her at my reunion.
Hey, so we just got an invite from Joy to go to Colorado and do a show.
Let's do it.
You need to apologize to her. You owe it to
So at like 1:30 in the morning, I'm texting her.
Joy, you're gonna have to
It took her like 3 days. Why were you thinking
serve,
of me
or
at
not
1:30
serve,
in the
but
morning?
sleep 4 of us. Sorry, I'm
I was
primed
like, hey,
for the show.
remember 5th grade? What's up? You remember 5th grade? What's up? I did, man. She kept coming back. And I'd moved on after since like in high school.
Good, you know what I'm saying?
I was already done with her. Her
Good,
husband's probably
good.
watching right now. I probably shouldn't be talking about this because her husband watches the podcast.
But he was like,
I love you, Diana Mills Browning.
so mean to her. I was so
Dude, I was, man. I was a dick.
I think we all were at that time.
what?
I was a dick.
You're still a dick. Drink this. Mhm.
Joseph, I'm good.
Uh.
Like a ketchup bottle.
You can turn the Cowboys on at some point.
Maybe.
You know, pregame started at like 5.
No, I'm not worried about them right now.
Gotta love preseason. Sometimes you guys do win games, right?
It's already from a show we were watching.
Oh, yeah, listen to this. Let me play it. Hang on. I forgot about this.
What, do I gotta pause my shit?
Yeah, hang on. This is awesome. I recorded this last night. I just have to remember where I saved
saved it. Where'd I save it? Hey, Lauren, where'd I save it? Audio. Commercial. God damn it. I don't remember where I put it.
So I have an old scratcher, a coin, and like a bunch of all the dust.
You know what else would be good? It's like a letter opener.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. She doesn't even hold me by the hand. I do that too, but I do this one. Scratch these.
You buy all the same prices on them, or
No. I didn't buy any. I cashed in my winnings.
you winning for what?
I won. I just like $50 yesterday. She's pretty expensive.
Doing what?
Scratch off.
Oh.
Scratching it.
Scratching. Yeah, so don't be offensive. Oh no, please do. Oh, she won't laugh. Oh, okay. Be offensive then.
I have no idea where I put it.
It's in the email. You can always.
I hate when that happens.
I can smell the floor.
Yeah. Oh, sit next to me. I showered this
Well,
morning.
there you go. You can sit next to him then.
I put deodorant on before I came over.
Sweet. Like a hot day.
Oh, God, this is going downhill fast.
They're overrated. Trust me. What'd you do? You turn it off and get back?
Was that it?
No.
Oh.
Maybe it'll look too big. This first time I've ever played this one, maybe my last.
I usually like the $5 ones.
I do 2 and 3. 3 usually. Well,
I
$5.
play the Pac-Man one,
Oh yeah.
and then I play the catchword.
Oh yeah.
And then
So this is this
I think there's a bingo one I play too.
yeah, I like the $3 actually. And this one, this is what I want $100 on.
By the way, Stacy, by the way, I tried to find this song to play at our wedding without it being live, and
It probably would have made a difference because you would have heard everybody anyway.
Lauren even tried to help me find
What's up, Mr. Zane? How are you doing, brother? We're not going to watch the game together because you're not here. So that's kind of how that works. So we'll have the game on here at 8, but we'll probably be wrapping things up around 8. So what just happened? Just like I did? Leaving me out to dry here.
All right, I got an orphan beer somewhere.
This one's mine. You can't have it.
Amber alert.
Amber Alert.
So we have silver alert, and this is a white alert. It's a big beer.
Well, is that it? Right?
Big red, big red.
Did you find it? You good?
Sorry, I lost my koozie. I got to find my koozie.
White alert cancel.
White.
White alert. Yeah, it's a white can. It's white alert.
Yeah, I was thinking something more convenient towards you. I like the silver alert.
I like the pink alert myself. Huh? I like the pink alerts. Those are the best alerts ever. Here, change the clutch with that. Can confirm.
Texas size 10-4. Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
He's got to organize his readers, you know?
You, sir, may leave at any fucking point.
Your wife invited me over, so I think I'm welcome.
Especially with that Dodger stuff.
I can uninvite you with that LA bullshit, that gangster bullshit you're wearing.
Have shorts to match. And one of those too.
I'll buy you some orange.
Socks,
Got it.
shoes. I'll find them.
Bird.
I'll find them. Wear them all over here.
Pitter patter.
Pitter patter, pitter patter.
Biatch. Zane said, don't be a wanker. He said, we need to be live during the game. If not, we need to do shots.
Zane always wants us to do shots.
Let's just do both.
I don't. It's empty, son. What are you giving it back to me for?
Ouch.
This size or this?
Nah, more the top.
Hey, this is Tim.
Yeah. Can
This-
confirm.
This is Lance.
Can't confirm.
I'm gonna sit this in this middle chair, and whoever sits there can sit on it.
Tablecloth. Like the amount of man spreading that goes on under that table. Oh yeah.
Well, normally we do, but now we have this gigantic table and we don't have a gigantic tablecloth. Oh, so apparently it just took a few minutes for the
So-
YouTube to catch up because I just got a notice that our video posted to YouTube.
And Zane says, Lance, that's a chode.
Hey, you know when they say the camera has 10 pounds?
It also takes away 4 inches. When we videotape sex stuff, it takes off 4 inches. I really thought that would get more of a rise. But
Yeah, well, I mean, you know. All
Yeah.
right, we got 1 minute. Hang on, let's do this.
Oh, damn. Yeah, we do.
Hang on. Wait.
I was about to take a nap.
Right? We need that. Oh yeah.
I'm just going to play with my cards over here. Oh, wait. There's no way Marco Andretti would ever be in front of Scott Dixon. That would never happen.
Marco would never be in front of a dick.
He would never be in front of anybody in a race car,
Oh,
as much as I would like him to be. Yes. We will get into that.
Have you seen a picture of his feet then? God damn.
nasty.
You need to turn that
We're going to.
off or down. Well, it's time.
You ready?
I don't know where you're at. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
Should we hit record?
Here, I got
We're
this.
going to light this candle?
Ready?
Yep.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Or the Second Amendment.
Idiots.
You're listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast with Big Red and IndyCar Tim, talking sports, current events, guy stuff, and everything in between. Now open up a cold one and drink along, because here they are, Lance and Tim.
You can buy me a drink.
We're all drunk.
Absolutely.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim, along with my favorite partner in the whole world,
Big Red, baby.
and Big Red. We are finally back on the air.
I feel like we've been on damn sabbatical or some shit.
We have been on an involuntary hiatus for 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks?
Technology whipped our ass that bad,
Dude, technology won and almost killed us to the point that we didn't even do a show last week.
I felt like I was in a fight and said, no mas. No more.
It was not a pretty sight. I think there's an actual video because it showed up on my wife's video feed on Facebook the other day of us trying to broadcast that I didn't even know it was there. Apparently there's a video there somewhere of us failing miserably. If I found it, I would have deleted it. So
we had several tests going out that night. It just never worked.
God almighty.
It's a good thing we finally cut the cameras off because I think we both wanted to flip the damn table.
We are finally back for episode 24, and we are indoors at Studio 64. 64?
64? What did this maybe?
Jesus Christ.
So is this, so if we're in the garage and
it's 69.
Studio 69 at Casa Not So Grande, is this like Studio 69 at Casa Not So Grande? Because I mean,
this is
better.
Studio 69 at Casa air conditioning, motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay, it's much better.
That's what this is.
Thank you, honey.
So yes, we are still at Studio 69 at Casa Not So Grande, but we are indoors because it is 147 degrees in the garage where we normally podcast from, and that would not be a pleasurable experience. And for our first show back after technology killing us, we really needed to have a pleasurable experience.
Well, that's all up to our wives.
Well, I had a pleasurable experience this morning. I don't know about you.
The producers of the show.
The producers of the show.
The producers of the show.
So we've got a really fun show tonight. We've got our normal sports jibber jabbers. We've got some hijinks, some shenanigans. And
can you spell shenanigans?
I can, but I don't have time.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
And so for those of you that watch and listen and text us and tweet us and comment, you've been begging for a wrestling show. So guess what we've got tonight?
We might have throw a little bit of SummerSlam in there. I mean,
we've got some wrestling talk for you guys, some WWE. We're going to get into that a little bit later. We got a very special guest in studio with us to help us talk some WWE.
As long as he brings liquor, we're fine.
I think he probably brought enough for him. I don't know. Does he have to get drunk to be on the air? He's way more famous than we are.
Well, but he needs to be drunk. Yes, he does.
Well, let's make that happen. Kim, get to work on that. Get to work on that. I don't see shots yet. So we're going to do some wrestling talk. We're going to do some sports talk. We've got our apologies and corrections, our hugs and high fives. We've got some short shots. We're going to talk about the netting and baseball issue. The NBA has opened a tampering investigation because of all the free agent signings that happened literally 3 minutes after free agency started. How was that possible? So they're looking into that. Of course, we're going to have some Zeke talk. We're going to talk where is Zeke, why is Zeke, who is Zeke, and trade Zeke. I think those are the 4 topics we're going to discuss regarding Zeke.
Well, okay.
And who is the best quarterback in the NFC East?
Okay.
And, of course, we prepared this playlist 2 weeks ago.
And I've already forgotten it, so I'm just winging it again.
But now, you know what? My opinion on the best quarterback in the NFC East has changed since 2 weeks ago. So we'll get into a little bit about that. It is no longer your Dallas Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Well, I mean, somebody wants to pay him $36 million a year. I mean, he better be pretty fucking good.
Let's give him 46. How do you feel about that?
You can find the fucking partner if we pay him 46.
We had some jib jab off air before we came on, and Lance is not a fan of paying Dak Prescott.
No.
I think Lance wants to pay Dak about $40,000 a year.
No, Lance does not. No.
Which is more than I make still, so that would be great.
It's more than $40 an hour, and that's more than I make. So,
as always, this episode is brought to you by our good friends over the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, 2538 Golden Bear Drive in Carrollton. 972-733-4111 is the phone number. Talk to our buddy Chris Bussell over there. He's the GM. Talk to our good buddy Mr. John Gerber, who's one of the teaching pros.
Yep.
You'll hear his dulcet, throaty voice on the podcast occasionally. But they got a full facility over there for you.
Throaty?
It's very throaty.
He's throaty.
He's never told you that before?
I
got that from him.
I've never had him.
He's like, dude, next time you talk about me, say I'm throaty.
I've never
I was like, all right.
thought about him being throaty. I've never.
Well, don't ask me, ask him.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
But hey, he
I'm
will
learning
help you
kinds
get
of
your
new shit.
golf game where it needs to be. They've got a driving range, chipping green, putting greens. What's the biggest putting green they have over there? You said how many thousands of billions of square feet?
They have a over a 10,000 square foot putting green. Yeah,
That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got lots of room for you. They are
Short
open year
game.
round except Christmas Day, and they're open till 10 every night
they're slacking.
except Christmas Day,
They're slacking.
which sucks because I usually leave the bar about 10. I was going to go practice my short game at about 10:30, but not going to happen. So, Lance, let's talk about our apology count for our show that was 3 weeks ago now. For those of you that are not regulars, our apology count is the show drinking game where whenever Lance or I use his crutch word, absolutely,
Absolutely.
you got to do a shot or a chug or a drink of whatever is the drink of choice in front of you. So when we do our review for the week before, we tell you how many it was, and you got to take that many shots to catch up. So, Lance, how about 11? Let's see you do 11 shots right now on the air.
Hang on. Okay.
So while Lance is prepping for his 11 shots,
1, 2, 3.
Lance is chugging a beer. By the way, not as impressive form as Baker Mayfield had at the Indians game last week. I got to say, is it even all gone? Did you do the whole thing?
Pretty much, it's cold.
It's going down cold. So Lance just shotgunned a beer, kind of. It's an old man shotgun. For those of you that saw the video,
you just slow your roll.
For those of you that saw the video of Baker Mayfield at the Indians game, dude, that was impressive.
You know what? And
I might have a man crush on Baker Mayfield at this point.
Another man crush with his shotgunning beer.
Dude, he opened the bottom with his teeth.
That's still college shit. I mean,
all right, I couldn't do that in college.
You couldn't?
No, with my teeth.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think I ever tried.
Oh, okay, so you didn't try it. So I mean, there's a difference.
I usually had a girl with me that would do that for me. So, all right, everybody do some shots. Lance's favorite part of the show is apologies and corrections. As usual, we have some for you. As I try to change the banner on our little video feed here. So I have a couple of apologies for the show. Lance, I have to apologize first and foremost on the last broadcast. I might have called you Zach. I don't know why I called you Zach.
Because you have so many freaking children that you mix me in with them. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. I was like in mid-sentence, and I said, so, hey, Zach, or something. I don't even remember what it was, but it was bad. It was inappropriate, and it was disrespectful to my co-host. So that cannot be permitted.
I will not allow you to say that because your son is not disrespectful to me. So we're good.
And then your favorite thing when the Timtionary pops up on the show.
Absolutely.
Which is when I make up a new word, which I do often under the influence of alcohol. I make up a word, I use it in a sentence, and then I immediately catch myself. In this situation,
the
Timtionary reared its ugly head in the word of regularizations.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I used the word regularizations, and because it was so long ago, I have no idea what the context was. So we'll add that to our list of words, and then for corrections, apparently, contrary to my statement on the last episode, pro golfer Tommy Fleetwood was not a co-founding member of the band Fleetwood Mac.
No. And we discussed that. I mean, he's got the hair for it, but he is not a founding member.
Well, he could have been. I heard he's mean on the drums, man.
Okay.
No?
No.
God, you're no help at all tonight.
I'm not. No, but it's coming.
I haven't even had a drink of my beer yet since we started.
I just finished one.
I know. And I haven't even had a drink yet. So we've got some hugs and we have some high fives to pass out as we start the show. Getting right into it. Do you remember any of these from discussing them 3 weeks ago?
Probably not. So go ahead.
Well, we're going to discuss the most recent one that's not on our list because that is in the name of Antonio Bryant, now of the hated Oakland Raiders. soon to be Las Vegas Raiders.
So there's a lot to discuss about him because we've talked about this, and we sit and watch the premiere episode of Hard Knocks.
Yep,
together. We did, but now there's a whole lot more shit coming out because he does not want to play football anymore if he can't wear his own old ass helmet.
So he's going to throw away $30 million in guaranteed money because he can't wear a plastic helmet that he
let that dumb son of a bitch throw all the money away. Fine.
So apparently he had a conference call with NFL's legal department.
He will not beat the NFL.
Nobody can beat the NFL. Well, maybe Major League Baseball can probably beat the NFL, but that's about it.
He can't.
No, he can't. But so they have, and rightfully so. CTE is we've discussed this before on this show. CTE is a big deal. It's serious. It's a real thing, and it's affecting hundreds of former pro football players in a way that the rest of us can't understand unless you have it. It's taking away their mental capacity. It's taking away their motor skills, and it's being addressed. The NFL is finally addressing it. They're trying to do something. They have better equipment now. There are companies now that are out there that have been started by ex-pro football players that are addressing this and
this is not
developing new equipment.
This is not a clutch word, but absolutely you're right. I mean, they have come up with all kinds of new equipment, and everything is, the helmets are different. Everything is different than what we used to wear and what we did. And tell your girlfriend to quit texting you during the middle of my damn broadcast because I can't do this.
Oh, I got a picture.
Oh, really?
Just kidding.
Can I see?
Lauren's over there like, who's that?
Damn it. But so, yes, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's
but Antonio Brown is laughing in their face. I don't care what new technology you guys have.
Antonio Brown didn't get on the field. He's not going to be paid.
I don't care.
I'm going to laugh at Antonio Brown.
He says, I don't even care if it's safe for me or whoever. I'm wearing my helmet. It's a helmet I'm comfortable with. So what happens if they, he can't even freaking run an out pattern right now. His feet hurt so bad because he froze them
in France.
Like an idiot in France.
In
his
France.
cryo tube. What the hell, dude?
It's such fucking stupid ass.
How many millions of people in the Pittsburgh metropolitan area are laughing their ass off right now?
Dude, I have heard that whenever they finally got word of all this shit going on, that the front office at the Steelers absolutely stood up and clapped. They got happy. I mean, they did a Jason Garrett clap so that somebody else gets to deal with his bullshit.
They should.
He's a dumbass, dude. He's a prima donna dumbass, just like almost every other dumb wide receiver in the league.
I've never liked him. We did a little bit of research because of the Hard Knocks we were watching. You thought he was a late round pick, but he was the 16th overall pick.
I did.
By the Steelers.
My bad.
Well, then I didn't know. I mean, he's enough of an idiot to be taken in the later rounds. But, dude, you think Pittsburgh regrets that pick, or are they okay with it now that they've won and moved on from him?
They've won and moved on, and they're fine, but they want somebody else to fucking carry that load for a while. I mean,
they're not going to have it for a while. Not that they have a quarterback to throw to them anyway, but we're not going to turn this into an anti-Ben Rapelessberger segment. But
and it's still Rapelessberger.
It's still Rapelessberger.
He will always be Rapelessberger in my eyes.
Very much so. He's an idiot as well. So, Antonio Brown, you, sir, need a hug and a freaking kick in the crotch.
Jimmy kick.
Right in the crotch.
Kick me in the Jimmy.
Let's talk about a former Dallas Cowboy, Big Red.
Uh-huh.
You may remember one Darren McFadden.
Oh. Used to be a neighbor. Used to hang out at Two Brothers with us occasionally.
Of course, from Jerry's alma mater, Arkansas. He's a Razorback. He's been charged with a DWI. However, it's an interesting DWI because he was in the drive-thru at a fast food restaurant at a Whataburger when he was arrested for his DWI.
So he didn't get his order together soon enough.
So I pose the question to our peanut gallery here. How many of us have ever fallen asleep after 2 a.m. in the drive-thru of a fast food restaurant.
If I wasn't driving,
Oh, I was driving.
no, I wasn't driving.
I was driving.
Stacy was driving. I fell asleep waiting
Yeah.
for her to order.
Okay, so literally Lance and I are the only ones here that's ever happened to. I doubt that very seriously. So, yes, Darren McFadden, according to TMZ, he's facing charges of driving under the influence and resisting arrest. Comes from a story that authorities shared after McFadden's arrest in January. He was allegedly found asleep at the wheel in his 2019 GMC Yukon in the drive-thru of a Dallas area Whataburger. Law enforcement sources who spoke to the Celebrity News website said that McFadden resisted arrest after being woken up. While no one has shared an exact account of what happened, reports indicate the windows of McFadden's car were smashed in the struggle. His court date is scheduled for October.
My turn.
I mean, you know,
Oh!
damn, dude. Bingo. Bam. Sweet. And of course, these stories are a couple of weeks old now, but this one's going to hold
This
up.
is still
'cause
fun.
It's good.
It's still good.
This
Yeah.
one's good. Our first show high five goes to Mr. Luke Voigt. Does anybody remember this story from a couple weeks ago? The video went viral. Mr. Luke Voigt took a 91-mile-an-hour fastball in the face. Oh, you're watching the replay of the
Hell yeah.
He didn't even leave the game. He stayed in the at-bat. A 91-mile-an-hour fastball to the face. So he's a right-handed batter. So he's looking this way to my radio left. It comes in up towards his face, and he kind of turns more to the right or more to the left to avoid it, and it kind of hits him in the cheek. Now, the article says it was a glancing blow. But, dude, I saw the video. That was not a glancing blow. I think he lost a couple of chiclets in the incident. But didn't leave the game. Didn't lose any. What was this? Sorry, as it says here. It was not a broken jaw. And the teeth will be all right, he said. But other than that, he's fine.
I want to, before we get another step further, I want to welcome my stepdaughter, Kaylin Hammer, to the show. Sweet girl, we love you, and welcome home. Go ahead.
I will also offer a welcome home. I don't know why, but I will. Just because you said it.
No, you're good.
All right. Welcome home, Kaylin.
Kaylin.
Welcome
No.
home, Kaylin.
No T.
Okay. Welcome home, Kaylin. The first baseman, Luke Voigt, acknowledged he was fortunate not to have been seriously injured in the play. He stayed at first base and stayed in the game. He was replaced in the fifth because the team made him go into concussion protocol.
Should have.
But he passed all tests. He likened it to a punch in the face, and he woke up Sunday morning with a bruise.
I bet you don't hit the camera.
Oh, I bet I don't hit the camera either. You ready? Mark Aguirre doesn't think I'm going to hit the camera either, apparently.
Nope. No, you suck.
Hug number 2 for the show, Lance. Local boy, Ronald Guzman. This isn't even news anymore, but we're going to fight through it. Was demoted to AAA Nashville. Do you remember this? Because we had some
Vaguely.
words about Ronald Guzman earlier in the season.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
I don't remember what we were discussing, but you pretty much asked me if I thought he was our future first baseman, and I was pretty adamant that no, I don't think he is. He's not there.
Why not?
He's not there for the reasons he was sent down.
Do we have anybody else to replace him?
Do we? Yeah, me.
Oh, Jesus
Pete
Christ.
O'Brien could replace Ronald Guzman right now.
Maybe he could if it come out of retirement.
Rafael Palmeiro or Will Clark could come out
Rafael
of retirement.
Palmeiro is playing in independent ball with his son, and he thinks he can still do this shit.
I think he can too.
He's older than I am, I think. Which is
Rafael Palmeiro? Oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah, he's got to be.
He's just pushing.
What are
50
you,
plus?
59?
Shut up! Just go on with your
58?
shit.
I don't remember. Ronald Guzman is batting 193 with just 8 home runs and 29 RBIs and 197 at-bats. He just started only 2 of the club's last 6 games going into this the show 2 weeks ago. JD spoke about Guzman on Ben and Skin. He said, "We've given him a run. He's good. He's been good defensively. He's a clear plus.
A clear plus.
He's a clear plus defensively.
Add that to
He's
the
helped the pitching
dictionary.
staff, but he struggled badly over the few weeks going into this, and he's got to work on some things. So they probably should have gone to Double-A
Although I've heard from our buddy Mike Bassick that sometimes AA is a little more competitive than AAA even. But anyway, Guzman is down.
My turn.
He may not be back this year.
I'm not gonna throw the camera.
This is my favorite story of the night that we're doing. A huge high five to former NFL head coach, former Florida Gators head coach, former Heisman Trophy winner with the Florida Gators, Mr. Steve Spurrier. Do you know why he is getting a high five?
The old ball coach.
You remember the Alliance of American Football?
Yes, he was a coach. He was a coach
of Orlando.
Yep.
They were a good team.
Yeah.
Till the league fizzled. So the Alliance of American Football didn't last long enough to see that championship game. Although we were looking forward to it, dude. I was watching it every week. I was kind of into it, man. I liked Memphis and I liked San Antonio. Johnny Football signed with Memphis, I think, the last 2 weeks.
The AAF.
The AAF.
According to actual fuck, what is going on?
All right, Roy. So some of the Orlando Apollo's employees, which is where Spurrier coached, all went in to give Steve Spurrier a championship AAF ring.
Did hear about this, yes.
Dude. So and I had some pictures. It doesn't look like a Super Bowl ring, clearly. I don't know what you're looking at.
I'm seeing some old ass shit here, bro. Go ahead.
So it's not really worth much, but you know what? It may be worth something since it's the only AAF ring in existence right now, compared to the thousands of Super Bowl rings.
It's the only AAF ring in existence because it's the only they could afford because nobody thought about putting enough money back to pay the fucking dudes to let them play football for a year. Nobody ever thought about putting some money back.
The season ended in after week 8,
which is the same reason I won't be retired till I'm 90,
like the rest of us. So by comparison, the Patriots last year handed out more than 230 championship rings following the 13-3 win over the Rams. But yes, so he led the Apollos to a 7-1 record, 2 games better than any other team in the league. And at the time the AAF went out of business, they were leading both divisions. So, yes, I am kind of a fan of Steve Spurrier. I hate that he coached in Washington.
Love the old ball coach.
But he's a good dude, man. So, I want to see that ring sometime. Do you remember?
What the fuck were you throwing at?
It was a limp wrist little just, I didn't even.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Where'd my wife go?
She left.
Great.
Producer 1A left.
She got a booty call.
Probably.
It wasn't from me. Hug number 3 for the show. Do you remember Mr. Alan Hearns, former Dallas Cowboy?
Yes.
This is how old these hugs and high fives are.
Tragic.
Yeah, so he was cut from the Cowboys. 2 days later, he was signed by the Dolphins. 1 year, $3 million.
Good for you.
So I prepared this before he signed with the Dolphins. I was going to give him a show hug because he was unemployed. But now that seems a little weird in retrospect because he's making almost as much money as me playing for the Dolphins. The poor fish. Where are you going?
You got any job openings?
Where are you going with it? God, suck. So here's one that we will both get, Lance. The best.
Oh, hey. No shit from the peanut gallery. I'm tired of this shit already.
Biggest show high five of this week goes to Mr. Travis Frederick? Travis Frederick of the Dallas Cowboys.
He will never be on our show now.
Yeah, he will. We'll have him on. Of the Dallas Cowboys because he was back at camp. He is back after his lengthy season-long illness. And he is
can't wait,
back.
Dude, he is all the difference in the world.
With your Dallas Cowboys.
Even so, let's talk about this for a minute. So Looney, great dude. We both hung out with him at Travis at his at Frederick's hangout at Top Golf. Great dude. And he was a hell of a center and did a hell of a job. But Travis Frederick is, to me, got Romo in the broadcast booth. Frederick does the same shit on the offensive line, play after play after play. He knows where everybody's at. He knows everything's going on. I mean, I want to reach back to Mark Stepnoski days.
Right.
I mean, you put him in the same conversation with him as the guys
center?
that knows what's going on before the shit happens.
Yep.
I mean, so yes, so happy to have him back. I mean, he's
Dude, he's an anchor for that offensive line, and they missed him last year.
What?
I mean, Looney did an admirable job, but he's no Travis Frederick.
Right. He's no all pro.
No. So Frederick's back at camp. He's been practicing with the team, going through all the drills, all the walkthroughs. I've heard from our guys that have been out there watching. He's not back yet. He's there, but he's basically having to relearn because he lost a lot of muscle mass with the I forgot what the name of the disease was that he had. But keep in mind, he also, in addition to the disease that he had that set him out for the whole year, he also had shoulder surgery.
Was it like Lynn Frank?
It was Guillain-Barré syndrome or something. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sure I'm butchering that. Guillain-Barré
syndrome.
I want Guillain-Barré syndrome. So he also had shoulder surgery and abdomen surgery. So he's recovering from all of this at the same time as he enters camp. So the thought
But still
is,
to have that knowledge on the offensive line before a play to line these dudes up and let them know where the attack is coming from is.
So the hope is that by the time the regular season rolls around, he'll have his muscle mass back. He's gotten back into it. His timing will be back. Of course, the playbook's a little bit different. The blocking schemes are going to be a little bit different from last year with the new offensive coordinator, but he's there for all of that. He's there for all the meetings.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it really, or is it just going to be window dress it up a little bit and still run the same?
Well, I think it's different. I think it's going to be considerably different.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, we'll get into that, but with the Cowboys' new offensive coordinator. So welcome back, Mr. Travis Frederick. Show high five, show hug.
Yes, sir.
All of that
brother.
for you, sir.
And thank you so much for the what you do with your
The Travis
foundation.
Frederick Foundation.
Yep. Helping those families out. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a fun event that we went to a couple months ago. Show hug. This was one that you brought my attention to. Sergio Garcia's caddy.
Dude needs
At
a
the
hug.
British Open.
No, he needs a hug, and we need a Jimmy kick to Sergio.
So this video had
What a
surfaced
dick.
a couple weeks ago. So yeah, about 3 weeks ago, a couple weeks before this.
No, during the British. It was during the British.
Right. Well, I was right. This was right after that that's how long ago it's been since we did a show. A video of Sergio Garcia throwing his club at his caddy after a poor
Sergio,
shot.
if you want to throw a club at somebody, I'm right here. I'm ready.
The article mentioned that Sergio struggled mightily, as many players did at the British Open. The weather was terrible as the storms rolled through Royal Portrush. But on Sunday, he suffered greatly. He had a good tournament before Sunday going. He finished the third round at 1 under. He was pretty far off the lead, but he was still playing well. But on Sunday, he was playing well until he went to the par 4 fifth hole, still at 1 under for the tournament. And that's when things went haywire for Sergio.
Douchebag.
He took a swing with his driver off the elevated tee, and he hooked it. And immediately, when they take those shots, they got volunteers all over the course helping indicate where it's going. So apparently there are 4 or 5 all the way down the left side of the – what's happening? I got those too. we have live testicles in the studio right now.
Oh, hell.
So Sergio,
hell.
he hit his drive, and every
Kim Birdie.
single volunteer down the left side of the fairway are all waving left. So everybody knows the shot went left. He didn't even look at it. He just saw them waving left, turned around, threw his club behind him at the caddy. And in the video, you can see it hit him, and the crowd gasps. There's an audible gasp on the video.
Yes, I have seen that.
So good Lord. And you know what? I'm not going to say I haven't thrown a club. I've seen you break clubs on the course, but you never threw one at me.
That's
That says
next.
2. Well, I wasn't the one that told you to use the 7-iron that you can't hit. and then still par the hole after you break your club.
Right there, brother.
Got the finger coming at me right now. So we're gonna revisit this in one of our high fives coming up, because the next high five. Do you remember what we discussed about this?
Maybe.
I don't know. It was a long time ago. Our next high five goes to Big Red for what?
Throat punching Sergio Garcia. Yes, I will throat punch that son of a bitch. I promise you.
So as we were talking about this show,
dude, I've heard so many shitty stories about this dude. Not only what he did to that caddy, about whenever he had a stand-in caddy, came in, stood in for him, and was trying to help him out around the golf course. And he said, you know what? I'm paying you to hand me clubs. Shut up.
idiot.
And I
hate that
mean,
dude.
so yeah, I've got no love lost between me and Sergio Garcia.
So you also brought this story to my attention. One of our childhood heroes. They can't stay out of trouble.
Yep.
No matter how old he is, where he goes, he cannot stay out of trouble. Mr. Dwight Gooden, former Mets pitcher.
He was a fucking stud at 20 at the Mets.
He's been arrested again for DWI.
Another DWI.
And this was recent, as of about 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
He was arrested Monday night a couple weeks ago for driving under the influence after heading the wrong way down a one-way street in Newark, New Jersey. Just weeks.
Just what she said.
Just weeks after he'd already been busted for cocaine. He's been in and out of rehab for years, drug and alcohol rehab. And he was clearly out of sorts. The article says when he was picked up on Vincent Street near Ferry Street.
Is it like just Vincent Street, just north of Vine Street in Brownwood, right?
It says on the iron-bound section of New Jersey.
Oh, no, New Jersey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're in New Jersey.
I mean,
he pissed himself. He was clearly buzzed and really kind of fucked up, said an Essex County law enforcement source.
Hey.
Still Gooden, who lives in Piscataway, was cooperative and polite. He told cops at the scene that he was diabetic, but it's unclear if he actually is, although his late father was diabetic. Like, if you're diabetic, you have to carry a card around saying, hey, I'm diabetic. I mean, can you not identify somebody?
No, but he needs to have an idiot
that's
card.
diabetic.
Say, look, I'm an idiot. I keep doing this shit.
The incident was only the latest sad turn for the 1985 NL Cy Young Award winner, who led the Mets to their most recent World Series championship in 1986. While battling drug and alcohol addictions, Gooden, who's now 54, has led numerous brushes with the law along the way, including in 2010 when he crashed his car in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, while under the influence, and while driving his then 5-year-old son Dylan to school.
So, I mean, yeah, and he needs a show hug because he was a hero of ours for growing up. But at the same time, dude, if you're gonna put yourself in that situation with your kid in, I got no sympathy for you.
So I'm always intrigued by net worth, celebrity net worth, especially guys like Dwight Gooden from that long ago.
You look up my net
made
worth.
all of the, I looked yours up, who made all of this money as a young
negative,
man.
wasn't it? It was negative.
It was red. It just showed red.
Yeah. Big
so I
red
looked up
is red.
Dwight Gooden's celebrity net worth on celebritynetworth.com. So put in, whatever. I don't know how accurate it is. According to them, Gooden has a net worth of $200,000.
That's better off than both of us are.
But after all of that money, I mean, we make fun of Adrian Peterson for being
broke. Hit
broke.
RJ not choppy with that right there. If you can hit him in the mouth with that,
I missed.
That went like maybe hit Lauren in the dining room.
I missed. Okay.
You suck.
Hey, let's refer back to the British Open because I think I found this while I was researching Sergio Garcia. Do you remember what Henrik Stenson did?
He
also at the British Open.
He physically broke a club that he really wanted to break.
So yeah, he hit a bad shot and literally there's video of this as well.
He got fined.
The club over his knee.
He got fined.
Well, you get fined for breaking your clubs and you get fined for throwing your clubs, right?
Well, he got fined because it's what is it? Actions unbecoming of a professional. I'm not a professional. I can do whatever the fuck I want to.
So yeah,
I have not thrown anything at you.
Well, yeah, you did.
Didn't throw anything at you. Didn't throw my club at you. I wanted to.
We're not going through any of those. All right. So what we want to do right now, because we have about 14,000 people joining us right now, wanting to talk some wrestling. We're going to take a quick break here, pay some bills, words from our sponsors.
Yes.
And
I'm excited.
A fun little interlude here. And then we'll be back here. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll hear the commercial. If you're joining us live on camera, you'll hear the commercial. But we'll be right back. It's only going to be about three or 4 minutes. So sit tight.
I don't know if I can piss that quick.
I can. I don't have to get up, and I can.
Well, but just don't get it on my carpet.
I'm sorry. I might be too late for that. Sit tight. We're the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim. He is Drunk Big Red.
We'll be right
back. We are all drunk, but we will be right back.
The Highlands Performance Golf Center is a proud sponsor of the Drunk Sports Podcast. And now we're giving back to its listeners. In the month of August, reference Big Red or IndyCar Tim to any of our staff members and receive 15% off your individual range bucket. The Highlands Performance Golf Center, located in Carrollton, Texas, is North Dallas's premier practice facility. Visit us at www.highlandspgc.com. And now back to the boys.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. But when it's time to relax, Miller stands clear. Beer after beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. If you've got the time.
Are you struggling with your golf game? Do you not get up and down as frequently as you should? Do you struggle making 6, 7, 8 foot putts? Well, it's because you don't do one thing. Practice. Hi, this is Chris Bussell, General Manager of the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. The Golf Center is North Dallas's premier practice facility with over 65 grass tees, 2 putting greens, a short game area, and covered heated tees. You can practice your game all year round. Located in Carrollton off Trinity Mills Road between Marsh and Midway, we're open until 10 p.m. 7 days a week. The other services offered at the Highlands Performance Golf Center are club repair, club regripping, club fitting, TPI fitness classes with Chris Orenby, our certified instructor, an 18-hole mini golf course, 2 junior golf instructors that handle all of our clinics and camps, and 6 Class A members of the PGA of America for all your instructional needs. Come see us at the Golf Center or visit the website at www.highlandspgc.com. Now back to Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
Yeah. Jam. Told y'all that was going to be a short break. I didn't even have time to pee.
What's the back door?
I could just open the door and pee right behind me, couldn't I? We are the Drunk Sports Podcast. I am IndyCar Tim. He is Drunk Big Red still. And we have a very special guest for all you wrestling fans. If you're a fan of the WWE wrestling,
I was called very special.
But in a good way. In a good way. We have Mr.
That on my face.
Rick, the sign guy.
That's what she said.
And the way he told me to say his last name was Achberger.
Hey, good to be here, everybody. Wake up. Oh, my God. They got all this merchandise. They need pillows with their face on it. Finally, we get somebody excited. Applause. Thank you. All right. Let's go. Let's do this.
Woo! Here, Rick, trick me. I feel like I want to suplex somebody right now. Is that still a thing? They still suplex?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
That's my word, but hey, everybody else drink.
Oh, what?
Everybody's drinking. Big Red said absolutely.
Your what
Show shot.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, so we want to thank Rick for coming on with us. We've had a lot of requests to talk wrestling, and
That joke
admittedly,
didn't clear, by the way.
admittedly, Lance and I know nothing about wrestling.
No, but we can get there.
The last wrestling match I watched was Kevin Von Erich taking on gentleman Chris Adams at the Sportatorium in 1989. I think that was the last time I watched something.
There is zero wrong with that.
No.
Are you getting a beer? You have your oh wow, he's got his own brand of beer.
Like 5 beers over here, babe. Thank you.
Hey, you know what? Hey,
My lovely finance. over
Ultra
there.
is not our sponsor. Miller Lite is. So
Yeah, but I'll drink an Ultra. Don't tell anybody.
Just turn that shit around right there.
So Rick, thanks for joining us, man. We've got SummerSlam 2019 coming up Sunday, I believe.
Can you hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah, we got you.
I'm good at yelling.
You can hold that if you want to.
Just
Just,
like
hold
my
it in your
finance.
Hey,
chest.
hold this and put it.
Clean your room, Rick.
Put this towards your mouth like you tell
Hey.
Kim all the time. Just hold it.
Oh,
Gonna be
hey,
$3 this
oh.
Ask her.
Hey,
She's,
wait, what? Whoa! Hey, I'm out of here. Good night. Wait, what is it?
So why don't
Hey,
you, for those who don't know what SummerSlam 2019 is, why don't you go ahead and fill us in and tell us some storylines and what's going to occur Sunday?
Well, let me tell you what. WWE is a passion for myself as well as billions of people across the WWE universe. It's one of the 4 biggest pay-per-views of the year. Of course, you have WrestleMania, everybody knows about. And then there is the Royal Rumble in January, and then there is Survivor Series in November. But then we have the biggest party of the summer, August, and that is SummerSlam.
So it's the biggest wrestling party of the year.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm
It's
in.
one of the big 4. It's going to be amazing. Tomorrow, pre-show starts at 4 Central. And then at 6 o'clock Central, the show starts. But we have so many wrestling matches and so many good the card is stacked. It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited to see this. And
Where is this going to occur?
Toronto.
that would be in Canada. Yes.
We're
Canada.
from what I understand, Rick is no longer allowed. Rick is no longer
In
allowed.
Canada?
No, he's
Unfortunately,
not.
I've never been there. I'd love to go.
That's
to
why you're not
Canada.
allowed there.
That's
Canada's
one of my.
great.
I would love to go there. It's beautiful there.
I've been there.
It's
Snuff
well
is really
Have
freaking
you been
expensive.
there?
Yes, I have.
It's
Toronto.
Beautiful. I
Toronto.
understand. People
It's
are
pretty.
amazing.
It's pretty. Yeah, and people are cool, but snuff is expensive.
Stuff.
I like that. That's how he judges his visits to foreign lands, by how expensive the snuff is.
How is the snuff in Mexico compared to
Cheap.
Canada?
Cheap.
But it's
But
Mexican.
is it the same quality?
No.
Oh,
I mean, is it like pot? Like you go get pot in one country and it's different than getting it in another country?
You get
So I've heard. I've heard.
You get a few more buds in Mexico than you do in Canada, but I mean, it all chews out the same.
I got you.
well, all right. Snuff talk.
Snuff talk.
There-
I like how wrestling talk turned into snuff talk.
You know, I'm sorry to bring this thing up, but I honestly thought, okay, the drunk sports cast, I thought you guys would be hammered.
We're not.
Just talking about random stuff.
We're
like,
not. We're not yet.
I got 2 words that will solve the Dallas Cowboys. Romo.
That would be that guy. That would be that guy. Yes.
You think if Romo came back, he'd save the Cowboys?
Fuck yeah, he would save the Cowboys.
Hey,
You
who
wanna go?
else?
You want to go? You want to discuss this really live?
No. Hey, you know who he thinks?
Hang
You know
on,
who
hang
he
on, hang
thinks
on.
could save the Dallas
Let me-
Cowboys right now?
Let me fix my
He
glasses.
thinks that if Aaron Rodgers was on the Dallas Cowboys, they would win multiple Super Bowls in the next.
We're
few
in.
years.
No, you don't.
Aaron
You
Rodgers
don't.
is 53 years old.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. If Aaron Rodgers was a Dallas Cowboy for the next 3 years, how many world championships would we win?
That
minimum,
many. Goose egg.
minimum of 1.
With Jason Garrett?
Minimum. Even with Jason
So
Garrett.
he's the only
Wow.
change.
Jason Garrett could fuck it up enough, and we would still win at least 1
Would
That-
Tom Brady
world championship.
win 3 championships?
Tom Brady's on his way up, but yes, he's still the GOAT.
So Tom Brady could also win a Super Bowl here.
He could. Yeah. Shit, we might win at least 2. At least 2. At least 2 in the next 3 years.
I know, but Tom Brady is the
Don't make me throw a half full beer at you. We are in my house.
How did
we
we
are
get
not
on this again?
dude? We are not in the garage.
What about the claw?
The iron
Nobody
claw.
uses the claw anymore for a wrestling move.
They should.
But I have done some reading, and the mandible claw is coming back. From what I understand.
Oh, that's true.
The mandible claw.
Because of
The mandible
Bray
claw.
Wyatt.
Yes. The mandible claw has come back. It's made a new appearance.
Bray Wyatt.
Jesus Christ! Something that I looked up actually fucking worked.
Very true. And the mandible claw was something that Mankind Mick Foley used
Yes.
as a submission move. And he would wear this glove and he would get in the gullet of the person's
Open your
mouth
mouth.
and stick his
Open your mouth.
fingers
Open
down.
your mouth.
I'm not.
God.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not
here.
doing demonstrations
Again,
here.
$20.
Our insurance does not cover that.
Honey, give me 20.
So
I'm doing this live on the air. I'm doing it.
So
damn
he
it.
would
I gotta
force his
take my own
fingers down
fucking
and
money
submit
out.
the opponent. Well, Bray Wyatt is now a so Bray Wyatt, who take a little hiatus, is now back. He has this Mr. Rogers.
You have
persona.
50,000 followers on Twitter.
All families and friends, absolutely.
So your tree does
I
this
pay
shit,
95%
right?
of it
Okay, but
with the game show money.
so yeah, our buddy. If you haven't seen it, on not
Jeopardy?
Let's Make a Deal. It was Let's Make a Deal.
Who wants to be
It was
a millionaire?
no. Quit fucking with me, goddammit! You know I'm drunk.
Deal.
Yes, deal or no deal.
Yes.
Deal
Wait,
or
he
no
was on
deal.
Wheel of Fortune?
Shut up,
Right?
Tim. Hanging in one of my best friends, Jeb Brown's house, is a picture of our show buddy here, Rick Achberger. He was on Let's Make a Deal.
Oh my God!
Wow.
The show is true to form.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Deal or No Deal.
Yes.
And Jeb was nice enough to be one of my supporters in this. It's the big Howie Mandel open up the case thing.
Right.
The
I do remember that.
prize reveal, all
But
that kind of stuff.
It is kind of like Let's Make a Deal. I mean, kind of. Help me out.
It's nothing like anyway. So Jeb was amazing, supporting me. Hey, pick
Your
the
sister
right
was
case.
there. I remember seeing your sister on the show.
My mom, my dad,
Yep, right.
Scott was there. It was amazing. It was an unbelievable experience.
God bless y'all for tolerating
And
him,
being a
Mr.
huge
and Miss
wrestling
Achberger.
fan for
Jesus
so many
Christ.
years, holding up dumb signs and yelling at wrestlers. I never thought in a million years that I'd be playing
But you also
suitcase game and there's wrestlers in the crowd holding up signs.
But you also had
"You
some
suck,
pretty amazing wrestlers that showed up for you. I mean, so
it was
who were those guys? I don't remember. They were
Edge and Randy Orton,
right,
and
right,
they
right.
had signs with "Sign Guy sucks" and things with my face on it with the big Ghostbusters thing through it. Boo! Yelling at me, and then all of a sudden, John Cena and Bobby Lashley come out to save the day and join me on the team with Jeb and my mom and my sister, and
You made hay.
Conquered the day, and
You made some hay that day. You made some hay.
I did okay.
You made some hay.
I did okay.
It was awesome.
And I
It was
spent
awesome.
it all on wrestling after I.
As well, you should. Hey, give it back
Why
to the
not?
people
You
that
got
gave it to
passion.
you.
Absolutely.
Give us a little bit of I can't even see it. There you go. Thank you.
That was an amazing experience. And real quick, I got to tell a quick story about Jeb, who's here with us tonight.
He may have been mentioned on the podcast a few times.
A couple
before.
times.
Yeah.
Well,
for sure.
Jeb
Every
was
other
nice
podcast,
enough,
maybe.
to be a supporter, and we're getting ready to go on the show. And he's already laughing. So we're in the green room, and we're drinking our Red Bull and getting ready to go. Oh, this is gonna be great.
yeah,
It's about
like you need a fucking Red Bull.
yeah. So getting ready,
Jesus
and
H Christ.
I go in there, and I go to the restroom, and I see a stack of maxi pads sitting out there in the restroom.
Was going to use those for like sweatbands or something?
Well, I don't know if all the ladies hold up the cases time of the month. I don't know. So they go, yeah, you're going to be wearing those, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And so they,
Duh, really?
sweat stains, man. Boom, boom.
Wow.
So they put that on us so we don't sweat stain. Jeb went through like 6 of them.
Then triple stacked.
He was sweating like crazy. Yes. So it was an amazing experience. I'll never forget it. I'm very fortunate, and it was really a lot of fun. Yeah, and I'm so happy all the wrestlers showed up too. That was cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Woohoo!
So what's going on? I do have some background on it, but we got SummerSlam's coming up. It's one of the 3 biggest pay-per-views, right?
True.
3.
Well, there's
3 or 4.
4 huge, but
right.
There are several throughout the year.
And there's always some big twist coming up on SummerSlam. Somebody always gets trick fucked somewhere. Tricky Ricky, trick fucked.
You never know what's
no coincidence.
Well,
I
there's
promise.
always surprises. I mean,
right.
I was surprised watching last week on SmackDown when The Miz was going to do a contract signing with Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph goes, "Heck yeah, I'll fight you," and he signs the contract, and Miz goes, "Good job, but you're not going to face me. You need to read the fine print. You're going to face him.
Dolph,
out comes Goldberg."
Right. So
yeah.
Dolph Ziggler.
Adam Goldberg?
Dolph Ziggler. Is that like a combination? Dolph Ziggler, is that a combination between,
Zig Ziglar and Dolph Lundgren?
Yes, exactly.
I know where you're going with that.
He's been in the WWE for quite some time, and changed names a couple times, but amazing. He's a show stealer, and
he has definitely changed names more times than my wife has since I've been married to her.
Really?
No, right? Because my wife,
Stacey Gibbs hyphen Dorset,
still has not changed her name to. Well, you know what? I still have a 5th option.
Would you like to talk about this?
No, no, we're good.
Oh, it's been discussed. It's been discussed. Rick, tell us who some of your favorite guys are in the WWE, and who are you close to, and why?
Close to, I don't. That's a tough one. I just
don't. We're not talking about favorites. We're just talking about guys that have been around. And
who do you root for? Who are you pulling for tomorrow?
So
the guy from San Antonio that's hot.
You slept with who? Says his fiance. Says his fiance. She slept with somebody. Who?
Not really. So there is one wrestler who is no longer with WWE, but maybe someday he will. His name is Alberto Del Rio.
So I can definitely see Kim, Miss Sign Guy, sleeping with him.
Yeah,
Lady Sign Guy.
Yeah,
so
the lady Sign Guy.
Pictures, and he would always take my hat and throw it in the 5th row, and I have to bring extra hats because
that's awesome.
Or a wrestler would grab it and wipe their butt with it and then put it back on my head. Oh man, it's
the greatest storylines ever since the Sportatorium.
So I've known this guy for like 7 years, and he is one of the biggest germaphobes that I've ever known in my entire life. Dude,
I am not.
You won't hug me today.
Well, that has nothing to do with germs.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm out.
You got some Purell or something over here.
Yeah.
You looking at me, I need
some sanitizer.
I'm not a germaphobe. You're a big hugger, and
I am.
I'm not a big hugger.
I am a big hugger, and every time I see you, I want to hug you because you're my boy.
Very nice, and okay.
You're my boy, Blue.
Very nice.
I don't know. So,
but anyway, go ahead. Our bucket's getting full.
There's a ton of wrestlers who I really appreciate. Have had a blast, having fun, watching them in the ring, outside of the ring. John Cena is a huge stand-up guy.
Yes,
and amazing. I mean, there'd be times where after a show, my friend Scott and I would go to a restaurant, and he'd be at a table and go over there, say hello.
Right.
And, he was on the Deal or No Deal.
Right. I remember him being there.
He was on a show called Confidential, WWE. He did a run-in with me, and it's just always so nice and so great. And we'd sit there and have dinner after the show and then leave. And the waitress is like, no, this is all taken care of by that man over there. I'm like,
Oh, that's awesome.
really?
Yeah.
So then I ordered more lobster and more steak and
A couple of bottles of wine.
I need a double Vegas bomb. She needs two.
That's the kind of guy he is. So he's very cool, and I know that people like to boo him, but he is such a he's the number one Make-A-Wish guy, and
right.
that says a lot about him and what kind of character he is.
This is a ton about him.
Yeah, and even at house shows when it's not on TV or TV, he'd always come over and say, "Hey, thank you for coming out." That's the kind of guy he is. So he's way cool. Cena is, but there's so many others too. that I
So,
can't mention.
how long have you been doing this?
I'd say for about 18 years.
Wow.
Or so. Been to about 1,500 wrestling WWE events.
So you travel?
Traveled, all over the place. I wanted to.
Dude, he's a sign guy, man.
Okay.
I mean,
It's like going to a concert.
Right. No, I understand.
You and I are not wrestling people. I mean, we will watch it on occasion on pay-per-view and stuff like that, but this dude is there all the time.
I understand
and
that.
there are people that see him, that love him, that dress up like him. I've seen I have
I almost wore my red hat tonight.
I'm trying to get this fashion sense going, but it's like I don't know what band you like, or I don't know what football team.
Backstreet Boys.
Just great. Go follow them from Austin to Houston.
Jesus H. Christ.
Right.
Wherever. And they call it in wrestling, they call it the loop.
Right.
So we would go on 5 shows in a row. First 3 would be not on camera. It basically a circus.
Right.
And they set up a ring, have a microphone. They got a show. And then they go to the next city, which could be 3 hours, could be 5 hours away. Set up the ring, have a microphone. Bam, you got another show. Pretty much the same show.
Right.
But I go to each one bringing different signs because I want to see their reaction and have them come over and go, well, that sign sucks. You can do better than that.
That's
and
awesome.
The next night I try to do better, and they go, that's funny. I like that. Picture that. Stuff like that.
Right.
I look up to them so much, and they're like superheroes to me, and they entertain me so much. Just to get a reaction out of them
Right.
is why I've been going for so long.
Right.
I mean, initially, years and years
Dude,
ago,
if you do some
I was like,
Facebook
"Man, I
creeping
wanna
on
get
his ass."
TV with my signs, and I'd hold up a bunch. Yeah, please, please. You know what? That doesn't even matter.
Right.
Just to get them to laugh, the crew to laugh. If I get the crew to laugh,
If you
I'm
can
good to go.
reaction out of them, yeah.
So do you remember your very first sign and where it was and what it said?
I do. My friend had tickets to Raw in Dallas at Reunion Arena. It was on TV, and it was back then during the the Stone Cold, the Rock, and the Attitude Era, and everybody. If you looked at
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
The arena was filled with signs,
Right.
filled, and I was like, wow, I've been watching it a little bit, and I was getting back into it. Maybe I should bring some signs. Okay, so I started making one.
Don't make me bash 2 Miller Lite cans together and fucking drink both of them before the end of the show's over. Because Stacey have to clean this shit up.
Yeah. I started making signs, and we were right there in the front row, and Mark Henry came out, and
Strongest man in the world. I remember him. Yeah, dude, I mean, just yoked.
yeah, and he was a part of a faction called the Nation of Domination. Nation of Domination. So he came out there, and South Park was a big player at that time. So I had a picture of Cartman dressed in a Nation of Domination outfit, pulling his pants down and farting. It's a Nation of Flatulation. And Mark Henry saw that, looked at me, grabbed this, ripped it up to shreds, walked off, stared at me mean, was scared to death, and I go, this is the coolest freaking thing that I've ever been a part of. I want to do this again.
That's awesome.
And I tell him every time I see him, I go, thank you so much, man. You inspired me to go to every show and hold up signs. He goes, you're going to blame me?
So do you have
Henry is awesome. His family is awesome. I got to meet them several times. It's so great.
Seems
But
like a cool dude, man.
That's what got to go.
So do you have an artistic background? I mean, you draw some
my mother
pretty
was
cool
an artist,
signs.
and so I loved art in high school, and I was a major in art in college until after my freshman year when I said, "We're gonna draw just bowls of fruit." No, I'm done. So no, I guess a little bit, but I think
You talking on SFA now? You talking on SFA?
No, I'm not dogging on SFA. I was dogging on what my career was as far as art. I think it was more creativity. So I went into radio, TV.
You and Jeb were roommates, right?
No.
No, you weren't roommates. But
Get this.
I was also in RTF, so yeah, I got you.
I was a radio, TV major. Get
Yeah.
this.
I thought-
Everybody knows Jeb. Radio, TV major. I graduated. Worked at Nacogdoches, Texas, for a TV station.
Thor is not enjoying this segment. It's growling over
I'm
there.
sorry.
I can hear him.
But Jeb was working for a place that was a big warehouse place. We happened to be shooting there. I was a cameraman.
Ah,
So that's how I met Jeb. Hey, you played basketball for SFA.
Yep.
Oh, I did. Hey, what's up? Well, we know so-and-so, so-and-so. That was back in 92. Yeah.
that's a long time, man. That's a long time friendship.
That's a long time. Absolutely.
Long time friendships.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. I mean,
All right, what else you got?
you've made an impact. There's no question you've made an impact.
Well,
If
I
you
mean,
have a
yeah,
passion, go
you've
for it,
made
man.
you've
Life's too short.
you made an impact on our lives personally for me and Jeb and Kim and Stacy personally, and that's cool.
Well, I love y'all,
But
my-
the shit you do on the side,
Are y'all about to make out? Like,
May-
I'm a little concerned.
Can you cue
Maybe,
the,
if I could
the makeout music?
if I could reach you, I would punch you. So maybe
I
I'll
want
punch
that
him.
$20.
Right?
No,
So you're a local
I threw it
local
over
boy.
there.
Local boy, right? DFW?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. My lovely fiance Kim. Yes.
She's local as well.
So how do your fans on Facebook and Twitter, how did they react when
that happened?
When this shit happened?
Oh my God, there were so many girls that said, "What are you doing?"
I can relate. I can relate.
That's the stupidest question.
So he's flying out his ass. No,
That's a dumb question.
no, it's not a dumb question. Dude,
No,
you've
who
got
cares? I love
50
Kim.
I know you do, but you got 50,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, and girls are in outrage that I got engaged.
No, I just wondered how it went. I mean, because you got, like I said, 50,000 followers on Facebook. You've got
She just told you to be nice.
you got 5,000 followers on Facebook, and you got a huge life. You got a huge life change. I mean, so
Did you invite everyone on social media to the wedding?
not it's not just you anymore. It's you and Miss Sign Guy.
Absolutely, everything is cool. Yeah, they were very
And I
happy for me, and yeah,
I have seen several posts that that they are all really happy that you've got
absolutely
Miss
They're-
Sign
they're
Guy
as
looped
happy as
in,
I am,
and
yes,
and
they have done that too. Hey, way to go, Miss Sign Guys! It's like, who are you?
Yeah, ask her about that shit. She knows. She can relate.
Yeah, hey, quit creeping on me. You're creepy.
So Rick, you've seen the card, I'm guessing, for SummerSlam.
Sure.
I've got a few of the matches pulled up here.
Okay.
I want to know, because everybody watching wants your take on what's going down. So the first one I've got pulled up here is Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins.
So
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
right now,
First of all, what's the sign going to be? What's the sign going to be for Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins? Do you have one?
Well, I'm not
I got a ticket. It's on the front porch right now. You can go. Of course, the ticket only gets to our house, which is a little closer to Canada.
what?
Moderately closer to
The
Canada.
ticket may be to the same living room you're sitting in, but if you were to be sitting holding a sign for that match, what might it say?
Well, I don't know. Put me on the spot. I have no.
His
idea.
creative juices probably don't flow that way.
No.
But do you
They
have a
should-
pick on who will win?
I I don't know if you guys have watched the last couple episodes of Raw.
I have
but
not. I promise you, I have not.
Seth Rollins pretty much got beat up and thrown in an ambulance and then dragged out again and then beat up some more by Brock Lesnar.
Sounds like high school.
It was bad. And then, the fortitude and the passion from Seth Rollins stumbled in with a chair trying to get revenge from Brock Lesnar. And
Wasn't happening, huh?
again, no. So I'd be surprised if Seth Rollins walks into the ring. So my guess is going to be Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those.
He's a beast.
What do they call it? What do they call them? Like a smash match.
Yeah. There was a
In and out, be
SummerSlam
done.
back at the Staples Center, which I attended, which he just decimated John Cena. I think we're going to see the same thing with Seth Rollins. Unfortunately, Seth Rollins is amazing.
But I mean,
Amazing athlete.
there are so many championships now in the WWE. There's not a world. There's a world championship. There's a universal championship.
Yeah, that's
There's
the universal championship.
There's an intercontinental championship. There's a women's championship. There's probably a beer drinkers championship. If we dug deep enough, we'd probably find that.
So the next
And,
card,
hey, you know what? Me and you on the next SummerSlam
on the podcast championship.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So the next card I have listed, Randy Orton. Is it Kofi Kingston? Kofi Kingston?
Kofi Kingston.
I knew that. I knew Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. Well, Randy Orton was the one booing me at Deal or No Deal. Was in the crowd. And, I was trying to make some money. And he goes, why does he need money? He wears the same stupid outfit every time.
Dry cleaning, dude.
Right? He's hilarious. He's great. But he's won about, I'm going to get this wrong, guys, but about 12, 13 championships. He's great. He's awesome. Kofi, amazing Cinderella story this year at WrestleMania, winning after 11 years in the WWE, won after so many hurdles to jump. Kofi is amazing. Randy is amazing. I don't know who's going to win this, to be honest with you.
So it's a draw.
Goodness. Kofi has overcome so much.
A double count out.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
There you go.
That
I mean,
would probably happen.
if you're going to take a chicken shit way out, it's double count out.
Randy Orton's one of the best of all time. Kofi is amazing. His confidence is
And
so high.
his family was in Dallas years ago.
Oh, wow. So we've got the U.S. Championship listed. AJ Styles and Ricochet. How you feel about that?
Oh, my goodness. Ricochet is
Woo! Hey. Dude, they hit the button.
That was awesome. Could not do that.
I bet you could never do that shit again. I will wad up every piece of paper that I have in this house. I will wad up every piece of paper that I have in this house. I bet you can't hit it again.
Let's not do that because
I got 4 or 5 reams of paper.
Time.
No, Ricochet, AJ Styles, Ricochet, amazing. You might want to call him a rookie, but he's been on the independent circuit in a bunch of places. I've seen him locally, actually. This guy flippity flops like crazy, will do the most amazing stuff you've ever seen. AJ Styles, another independent guy for the longest time. And then was in WCW, TNA, a bunch of other factions, and then finally making it to the WWE. And it's huge.
Yep.
Monsters. These are 2 tremendous athletes. I'm going to have to go with AJ Styles for experience, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Ricochet still might be a little green in the WWE, but there are 2 guys that have AJ Styles back that I'm worried about, that are his boys from Japan. And so, no, I'm going to go with AJ Styles.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So my personal favorite match, and I do actually have a favorite match that's coming up because these are 2 guys that for some reason I know who they are. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon.
I got a personal favorite match. It's not yours.
John Wick is not wrestling, sir. But
He
who
would
would
kill.
win?
He would kill everybody.
Can you use
John Wick would
guns?
kill everybody.
Who's the other dude that John Wick and Who's the movie person that Tom
Born
Cruise
Identity
played?
guy?
No, Tom Cruise played him.
Jack Reacher?
Jack Reacher versus John Wick.
Well, so all right, so
She likes
we
Keanu
got-
Reeves better than.
well, she's gonna pick Keanu Reeves, who can't run. I mean, dude, I watched the first 20 minutes of
I'm the one that can't run.
I watched the first 20 minutes of chapter 3, and I had to turn it
Kevin
off.
Owens and Shane
'Cause
McMahon.
I got tired of watching Keanu Reeves run. He runs like he's bow-legged and got a corn cob up his ass.
Yeah, maybe he does. That's a good point by the Peanut Gallery.
Maybe Ted is.
Thanks,
stuck in-
producer.
How do you know how that feels or looks like?
So Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon.
You are no longer allowed here. You can leave now. Thank you.
There are so many matches. Yeah, Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is not the most agile guy in the world, but good Lord, he will take a bump on you and he will jump off the roof of the building and go through a table. Kevin Owens, well, he doesn't like me. So I've held up signs, and he's
How many
come
guys
over
don't like you? I mean,
and said, "I don't like you. Put that sign down."
so
Okay. And then I've had staff come over and goes, "You know what? Kevin Owens doesn't like you." Oh, I know. So I've tried to hold up
funny.
signs to make him laugh, and no, nothing.
Nothing,
Hates me.
huh?
No.
Too
And then
straight-laced.
other fans have come over and goes, "Kevin Owens is the nicest guy ever." I go, really? He hates me. So yeah, well, I could absolutely be annoyed.
so there's also a women's championship going on,
Sure.
and we've got the great Miss Flair. I cannot remember her first name,
Charlotte.
but
Charlotte
Charlotte
Flair.
Flair,
Sure.
Charlotte Flair, from the loins of the great Ric Flair.
My favorite of all time.
Absolutely. And she is.
Wasn't he a Freebird?
Whoa!
Terry
So-
Gordy,
I'm
Ric
sorry.
Flair.
No, he's one of the four horsemen.
The four horsemen.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And she is going up against, which was one of the first divas, Miss
Trish Stratus.
Trish
Absolutely.
Stratus. So, what do you think about that? I mean, besides the fun that will be to watch,
It's the best versus the best. It's a dream match.
dream
In my
match.
mind,
So,
yeah, Charlotte Flair.
are you going to replay that in your mind while you're no?
Trish back in the day.
Trish Stratus is from
Amazing.
Toronto.
She is, and that's why she's
So it's
there.
his
I'm sure.
hometown favorite, sure.
And I'm sure
Charlotte
she'll
Flair's
win.
Done things that
I'm
are
sure
amazing.
she'll win somehow,
Because it's
some way.
hometown. You got to win.
Right.
It's so good though. So it's the best versus the best, and so
Well, we are
you know what?
looking.
I'm going to say. I'm sorry. I'm going to say Charlotte Flair. By the way,
Ooh,
Charlotte
we gotta
Flair.
pick
Trish is the hometown
over
favorite,
Trish Stratus.
but she's doing this for one match. I'm thinking. I don't know, but I think Charlotte's going to win this.
Mark it down, Big Red. Mark it down.
Call
All
Vegas.
right.
We're gonna hold them to it. Call Vegas. All right. Well,
Johnny Gerber, let me know.
Well, yeah, SummerSlam, by the way, we're talking with the sign guy, Mr. Rick Achberger.
Arch Bungler is how it's pronounced.
Arch Bungler.
Shout out to my folks if they're watching.
Hey, yes.
Oh, if they're not
Love you
watching
guys.
now, they will be. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, and again, we're doing this because, we had a lot of people messages to say, you guys got to talk two things. You got to talk fantasy football and you got to talk wrestling.
Fantasy
So I said,
football's
Lance, I'm
coming.
like, okay, the two things I don't know. So
Fantasy football's coming.
I can fix
Fantasy
the
football's
wrestling
coming.
thing.
Fantasy football's coming,
You
baby.
got to have Rick on. So being a local boy, you mentioned Tony Romo earlier. Where are the Cowboys going this year?
No, we're talking about real shit. We're not talking about predetermined shit.
With or without Zeke.
Let's assume Zeke will not be here because I don't know that he will be.
And if he doesn't, he's a dumb son of a bitch.
Well, he already is anyway.
Don't you think that the whole organization is thinking, okay, with Zeke, we're going to do this. Without Zeke, we're going to do this. You don't think it's a whole different
Oh, they've
scheme?
got a different plan for sure.
Right.
Game planning will be different. Scheming will be different. Personnel will be different other than just Zeke and Troy Tony Pollard.
Wasn't 50% of the plays
Zeke.
based on Zeke? Yeah.
Yep, the entire offense was based on Zeke last year.
Because we don't have a quarterback that can throw it down the field. I mean, that's why.
Here we go.
Footwork's getting better.
Here we go.
Hey, you want to get there? You want to get there?
Here we go.
You want to get there? I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, I feel like we've already been there.
Not during
I
this
feel like we
show.
want to know what Rick thinks.
Well,
That's fine.
I think as Cowboy fans, like all of us, I don't know. I'm not sure. And that's okay.
Are you
listeners,
Are you
viewers,
comfortable
if
with
you're
this offense? Are you comfortable with this offense with Dak running it
I
and no
always
Zeke?
have high hopes going into the season. And did we not really have high hopes last year? But wow, second part of the season, what happened?
Well, after the trade for Cooper, we finally had an offense.
Offense
last year.
changed. Yeah, it changed. It did.
And Dak was winning games.
So now we have a full off season with Cooper and Dak.
And they're not going to get rid of Dak.
We have Witten back, who, by the way, is not the best receiver or the best tight end in camp this year. He is the second best tight end in camp this year.
But he can teach people to lead.
Well, that's fine. He can do it. He could have done
He's a
that.
hell of a leader.
He could have done that without coming and taking a roster spot, too.
He could have done that without putting a hairpiece on his head and calling games on Monday Night Football, too. I'm just saying, the dude finally figured it out and shaped his damn head and accepted what God gave him.
So the Cowboys are trying to prepare for life with Zeke and life without Zeke because nobody really knows what's happening. They've made a very good qualifying offer to Zeke to pay him in the top 5 running backs in
Yes,
the league,
yeah.
which he is.
Put him at Le'Veon Bell money.
And you know what? We knew he wasn't going to take it. They knew he wasn't going to take it.
He's
So
a
that's where
dumbass.
the negotiations are starting.
He's a dumbass. That's
So
fine.
time will tell. Will he be here to start? Does he just not want to be in camp? That's happened before with holdouts. But, you know, I just want to be in camp. I just want to play the season. Give me a new contract. I'll be there before week 1. Or is he going to live up to his word where he says, I will not play the entire season without a new contract?
Emmitt Smith did it.
He held out 2 games before the new contract.
Right.
They
And-
went 0-2 and then won the Super Bowl.
But
I think a lot of guys are like, man, I don't want to do training camp. I want to go right to the season.
Exactly.
And yeah.
You know, but wait until you're in the league for 7 or 8 years before you start to pull that shit. When
I mean-
you're in your 3rd year,
Maybe
Timmy-
Brown
Timmy's
did that on
talking-
purpose.
Timmy's talking like
Or
he's
just-
been in the fucking league before. So, I mean, but
oh, dude, I played. You don't remember? I played 27 years in the NFL. You don't remember that?
no, I don't.
I played 27 years in the NFL. I played 18 years in the NBA. Played 14 years in the
Is your
NHL.
name Ray Finkel?
I couldn't kick that well. So, yes, by the way, the Cowboys are on right now. Rick, is there anything else you would
Eventually.
like to offer towards Dallas-Fort Worth sports?
Wow. I don't know, guys. I love your show. I hope all the listeners will tune in every week. And, it was a pleasure being here. And, man, I don't know. It was awesome. Thank you very much.
Absolutely,
And,
brother. You're welcome anytime. Maybe we can come back on before WrestleMania.
or TLC.
Do a
or-
little show and
Sure.
and give your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Would love to hear it.
Well, guys.
Would love to hear it.
All right, we are the Drunk Sports Podcast. I am Big Red. I am Big Red.
You are.
I am IndyCar Tim.
What in the hell is happening? He is now Big Red, and I am IndyCar Tim. Y'all can go.
We're gonna
figure
take another quick break, and we'll be back with some other shenanigans after this. But we want to thank Rick for coming on with us and making the drive all the way over here with the lovely Kim. Thank you, Kim, for joining him as well.
Thank you,
We
sweet
appreciate
darling.
you so much.
Yeah.
And
Thank
we will
you,
be
sweet
right
darling.
back.
Dude, that's going to go on forever.
That is not
Jesus
going to go
Christ,
well.
it is not going to happen. Yeah, those
That is
are
not
long.
going. So now we're still going to take a break, but it's going to be a few minutes because we got to let all these sounders play out.
Hang on, hang on. Yeah, see,
Oh yeah, it's
we-
going to go on for
we
a
got,
little while.
We got all kinds of shit. So let's talk
But
about
that's all right.
Put your headphones back on. Let's talk about this. So
I really got to pee.
but I do too.
That's why I was taking a break.
Okay. So
Yeah.
were you around during the Sportatorium days?
I was not. I grew up in Ohio and
Oh,
played a lot of basketball. 'cause
That's
that
your
was the only
parents'
thing to
problems, not
do.
mine. So
And then my aunt moved from Ohio to Texas, San Antonio, and said, man, these guys can't play basketball. Rick would dominate. And I did. I moved down to San Antonio. So yeah,
I am
got
the
a
dominator.
scholarship at
So
Beautiful.
hey, there's a basketball hoop down in my street.
I want it at my house.
We can make this happen tonight. You and Rick, 1-on-1.
That's right. Oh, I want to go now
1-on-1.
while you have to pee.
Dude, I have to pee so bad right now.
Yes, I might win.
I can't. Wait.
No, we still got you going.
Dude, we got like
We still
four.
got-
This one's 4 minutes long.
Oh, Jesus H.
I
Christ.
hit every button. I don't know. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's why we don't do post production. We do live shit, and we talk about this before the show. But it's fun. It's fun. So, if you were in the sportatorium, if you were a sportatorium dude, I want to go back old school.
We don't have that much time.
Yeah, we do. If you were an old school dude, would you be a Von Erich guy? Would you
Hell
be
yeah.
the Iron
Be
Claw?
Freebirds.
I mean,
No,
sportatorium.
The great Kabuki. Admiral Akbar.
I'd be a Von Erich guy, but I'd cheer for the bad guys. Well, no, I would boo the bad guys because I want a reaction out of
Right,
it. But
of course.
Yeah, I'd be a Von Erich guy. Absolutely. There should be a movie or at least a,
Documentary or
docudrama.
something, yeah.
Oh, amazing what's going on with that family.
So if you were the lead, if somebody had to play you as the lead in that docudrama, who would play that lead for you?
Jason Statham.
Would it be Matthew McConaughey, maybe?
Oh, wait, that's who plays
Heck
me.
No, that guy's disgusting.
Jason Statham
Cumberbatch.
plays me.
Give me Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch? Really?
Yeah.
Cumberbatch would play you.
No.
Come on.
I feel like Kevin Hart would play me.
Bull
Somebody
from Night Court.
somebody
How about
short
that?
and
Is he
dumb.
still alive?
Yeah.
No, Anthony Michael Hall would play me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
We were Twinkies in high school.
Who would play you in a movie?
Fuck if I know. Let's
Hey,
go on.
Ernest-
Next question.
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borg.
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine would play me. You think Ernest Borgnine would play me?
If he were alive, he could play you.
Have you guys seen the movie?
I'm gonna throw
Constipation?
something at you hard. I promise.
Constipation?
Yeah, have you seen
Next
the
thing I throw at you
No,
will
but
not
now
be
I
an
want
empty
to.
beer
Oh, no, it hadn't
can.
come
It
out
would be
yet.
something
That's
hard. Are we done?
No, it's still going.
No,
The light is still on.
No, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're gonna take a break here. We'll be right back. We love y'all. Thank you. Stick around. We got some more bullshit coming.
We got a
up.
pee-pee.
I got to
They
pee.
got to change their diapers.
Deuces.
Performance Golf Center is a proud sponsor of the Drunk Sports Podcast. And now we're giving back to its listeners. In the month of August, reference Big Red or IndyCar Tim to any of our staff members and receive 15% off your individual range bucket. The Highlands Performance Golf Center, located in Carrollton, Texas, is North Dallas's premier practice facility. Visit us at www.highlandspgc.com. And now back to the boys.
Today, there's a beer for everyone.
Hey, me and the guys are going out for beer. You want to come along? Nah, I got a lot of data to enter into the computer tonight.
Now, there's a brew for the future.
Want me to bring you something back? Thanks, but I got some right here.
Microsoft Brew.
You got a beer tap on your computer?
With a head so thick you can float a mouse on it.
Let me get this straight. You make your own beer with the computer? With the right software, you can do anything.
Microsoft Brew.
Here, I call this one Windows 95. I don't know. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
And if you got to get there quicker, try the new ISDN malt liquor.
Hi, Gordon. What you been up to?
Big things, Fred. I'm a full-time student at bartending college.
Wow. I never had time for a formal education.
Well, I decided to make time, but it's not easy. Bartending college is a 4-week course.
Gee, how far along are you?
Well, let's see. This is Tuesday, the 3rd week. Hey, I'm a junior, and I'm late for a daiquiri lecture. Why don't you join me?
Why not?
Bartending College.
You've already spent enough time on the other side of the bar to qualify for enrollment.
Bartending College.
We'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll get a starter set of bartenders' jokes like,
So I says to the guy, you can stay, but the cow's got to go.
Bartending College.
You'll learn how to roll drunks, water the liquor, and skim the cash register. And remember, as the bartender, you drink for free. Last call for integrity.
Are you struggling with your golf game? Do you not get up and down as frequently as you should? Do you struggle making 6, 7, 8 foot putts? Well, it's because you don't do one thing. Practice. Hi, this is Chris Bussell, General Manager of the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. The Golf Center is North Dallas's premier practice facility with over 65 grass tees, 2 putting greens, a short game area, and covered heated tees. You can practice your game all year round. Located in Carrollton off Trinity Mills Road between Marsh and Midway, we're open until 10 p.m. 7 days a week. The other services offered at the Highlands Performance Golf Center are club repair, club regripping, club fitting, TPI fitness classes with Chris Orenby, our certified instructor, an 18-hole mini golf course, 2 junior golf instructors that handle all of our clinics and camps, and 6 Class A members of the PGA of America for all your instructional needs. Come see us at the Golf Center or visit the website at www.highlandspgc.com. Now back to Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
Welcome back to the Drunk Sports Podcast. I am IndyCar Tim, Drunk Big Red, pushing buttons. We want to thank Rick for coming out again tonight and talking some wrestling with us. And sharing some life experiences and some stories. And, man, this guy's got so many stories. We could have gone another hour, hour and a half, but I had to pee so bad. But we appreciate him coming out. We're going to have him back on coming up.
We cut him off with the bio break, right?
Yes. Is that what we're going to call it? The bio break?
The bio break.
We are the Drunk Sports Podcast. I am not Big Red. I am actually IndyCar Tim. He is Drunk Big Red.
Bam.
And we are broadcasting episode 24 again tonight from Studio 69 at Casa Nazo Grande, drinking all the Miller Lite. Oh, hell. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with this picture?
It's empty. Hang on. Wait.
We've got, and we're going to wrap things up here pretty quick, but I've got one thing that I absolutely had to discuss tonight because as Lance is killing his dog.
It's okay.
One thing that I wanted to discuss tonight because my opinion on this has changed after last night. So NFL preseason has kicked off. We had some games last night. We've got a game on tonight that we don't have on for whatever reason. Dak's probably thrown for 4 touchdown passes and 900 yards in the first series alone. We didn't get to witness it. So pay him $45 million a year.
The biggest waste of consumer money in the entire NFL is preseason games.
That's not at all true.
It is. It is. Look, read my shirt.
Oh, wait. You said, what'd you say? Consumer money?
Consumer money.
Oh, no, yeah.
Read my shirt. Read my shirt.
I'm sorry for the awful, mean, and accurate things I'm about to say.
Absolutely.
Show disclaimer. So, yes, preseason football has started. We had a Giants and Jets game on last night. That was intriguing. And it was intriguing because one Daniel Jones started for the New York Giants. That is a draft pick that I lauded for the New York Giants. I thought that was a great pick. He was picked ahead of higher-ranked quarterbacks by other teams. He was laughed at. The Giants were laughed at for that pick.
We do have a little bit of money in this game. I mean, we have a buddy that has a son that is a receiver, that was a receiver for – he's still a receiver, but was a receiver for Daniel Jones. Jake Bobo.
All right.
Jake Bobo.
Then why would you cheer against Daniel Jones?
I'm not cheering against him. I'm not. I'm cheering against the New York Giants.
Fuck them. You're allowed to do that. So, yes, when the draft happened, Daniel Jones was picked 6th overall. 6th overall.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Ahead of Dwayne Haskins.
Why do I have a Ultra that has not been drank still on my table?
And, dude, when that pick was made, the Giants fans that were present live let out another audible gasp. That's now
Right.
2 audible gasp references on the show tonight.
As they should.
And they were miserable. They thought it was terrible. And ever since then, man, the Giants have been made fun of. There's been memes put out there about Eli and Daniel Jones being the same person. There's pictures next to each other of them both doing dumb face or what the crap ever.
Well, I mean,
But dude, when that pick happened, I'm like,
Eli Manning wakes up.
I kind of like to have that dude on my team.
Eli Manning wakes up in the morning with dumb face.
Eli Manning is a wonderful human being.
My wife
and
would not
a
sleep
Hall of
with
Fame
me if I
quarterback,
woke
sir.
up with that face.
Eli Manning is a stand-up human being and will be in the Hall of Fame, sir.
He could be a stand-up human being and not be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he's going to. So
no,
Eli Manning will be in the Hall. Yeah.
No, maybe.
No, he will be.
Maybe one day after we're dead, when they start introducing the old dead guys
So
over there.
Daniel Jones on his first series as a professional quarterback went 5 for 5. And by the way, those 5 passes, those 5 completions were freaking good passes.
I'm not doubting
including
that.
the touchdown pass in the quarter of the end zone to a back shoulder around a defender. That
RJ
was
not
great
choppy
coverage.
did not catch that pass. He's
That was
raising his
great,
hand.
great coverage. Yep.
Practice.
Yeah.
Practice for practice.
But we're
talking about
for
practice.
him too. We're
Don't-
also
don't
talking
make
about
me bring up Allen
preseason
Iverson.
for
No.
Daniel Jones. The first time he has faced any kind of second, third, fourth string, whatever you want to call it. This is the competition that has been presented to him.
He
and
is
won.
he is a far better quarterback than Eli Manning.
So I was concerned that he might take over the starting job with the Giants by week 5 or 6. But dude, if this keeps up, he's going to be the starter in week 1. And that terrifies me for a Giants team that we're trying to beat for the NFC
Right.
East. And I don't think that the Giants are going to compete for the NFC East.
It's one of the far
in
many
year-
things that we
his first
disagree
year.
with. We're not going to disagree on that.
No, they're
we
not
won't.
going to. But we need to win those 2 Giants games
We'll still bust their ass
to win the division.
We'll bust their
And I'm
with or without
have some
Zeke.
concern now if he's there.
Don't show
Anyway, Daniel Jones, dude, terrifies me for the future of the NFC East. This
It's
next
tough.
segment we're talking about is who is the best quarterback in the NFC East currently. And there's really only 2 that are in the argument, and that's Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott.
Okay, so
But after last night, I kind of want to throw Daniel Jones in there, but let's give him the preseason and half of the season to see where he is against actual NFL talent, against first-team defensive linemen, against first-team defensive ends, against the first-team NFL defensive scheme and rushing and blitzes. Let's see where he goes. But, dude, right now he is on the right path. That's all I'm saying.
I want to defend my stance against Dak real quick.
That you hate Dak.
I don't hate Dak.
Are you racist?
No.
What if he was white?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
He couldn't hit his ass with his hand. He could not hit his ass with either hand, honey, is what I'm saying. That's how it came out. But what I'm saying
That went
is
south quickly.
there was a big story that came out. Listen to it on Thursday. He got the receivers together and they went out to San Diego, or it wasn't even San Diego. It was Northern California. He paid a ton of money, got them into a hotel, and they worked out. And you know what? That is what a leader does. He took them in. They went. They ran routes. They ran passes. He did all the bio stuff as far as heart rate and where everybody could get better.
Right.
And to me, that's awesome. That's awesome for him to do that. I am not questioning the man as a human being. I have never questioned the man as a human being. I have questioned the man as being able to hit a 20-yard out.
That's not his problem. 20 yards and in are not his problem.
Yeah.
His issue is 20 yards and farther.
The man cannot hit a 20-yard out route. I'm telling you this.
Wait, so what percentage of the time can he not hit? Are you saying 0% of the time?
I'm not saying zero. No,
So
I'm
half
not.
the time?
So if we're sitting right here and he's standing across the street from my house right now.
Well, it's way more than 20 yards.
Across the street?
From your house, from here? Dude, that's way farther than 20 yards.
Do you think he could
20 yards is to your front yard.
Do you think he could hit you in the mouth?
Yeah.
How many times out of 10?
5.
Is that is 5 times out of 10 for me able to hit you in your mouth from my front yard? Is that worth $34 million a year?
So are you saying that's literally all he can do is miss half the time? You're not taking into account the
worth
rest of his
no?
game?
No? I'm just saying. I'm not. Yes, I'm taking into all of it.
He can run the ball.
He can run the ball. He can coach the game up. The dudes will follow that man. The guys on
To
the
their
offense.
death.
The guys will follow that man through the gates of hell.
And that's worth something.
Yes, it is. But if he can only hit you 5 times out of 10 from my
How
front
many plays a game are
from
you
my
gonna
front
run?
yard, hit you in the mouth with a football.
Yeah.
5 times out of 10.
I will take it all day.
Is that worth $34
How many
million?
plays of 40 yards are you going to throw the ball down the field during a game?
If you're going to make this offense a Super Bowl contender, you better be fucking throwing.
You might have 1 or 2 plays a game that are 40 yards.
Dude, I'm talking about my front yard,
30,
man.
okay, that's 30 yards. How many passes a game is he going to
You
throw?
got
that are 30
Amari
yards?
fucking Cooper as your number 1 wide receiver.
Yes, who is the number 1 receiver in the league in yards after catch.
That's fine.
So throw the ball to him 15 yards down the field and let him run.
So we're going to go back to the same fucking offense we had last year.
That's not the same offense we had last year.
It's the exact same
The offense we had last year was dump it off to the tight end 8 yards down the field on 3rd and 17.
8 yard, dump it
And
down
then punt
8,
the ball.
8 yards and get 7. But no, I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're saying.
So don't disagree with me.
No, I vehemently disagree with you.
You can't
sir.
even pronounce that word right.
Vehemently. VEHEMENTLEY. Vehemently. All right. So the 2 choices for you for the NFC East. Would you rather have Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott?
See, and that's cheating. That's cheating.
Why?
Because
Or Daniel Jones.
Carson Wentz can't stay healthy.
Okay.
He can't play 16 games.
Has Dak
this year.
Prescott ever missed a start in his
No, he
3-year
has
career?
not. No, he has not. So
Mark 1 for Dak Prescott.
Next question, jackass.
Who plays for the Cowboys?
Dak
Mark
Prescott.
another one for Dak. I'm just kidding. That's not really a criteria. So, no, out of all things considered, health, accuracy, attitude, leadership, who do you want?
If Dak Prescott,
If you got to think that long about it, you're
No, I'm not. I'm trying to quantify it because.
Can you spell quantify?
Shut up. I'm sorry, Miss Hortz. I can't spell quantify right now. But
That's your 3rd grade teacher.
No, it's my high school English teacher.
She hot?
No.
Damn it.
I mean, she's a pretty woman, but no, I wouldn't put her in the hot category. Awesome human being. So please, Stacey, quit digging my own grave. But so I mean, if we're going to talk about, yes, athletically, if Carson Wentz was durable is the word we're looking for. If Carson Wentz was durable, he would be the far superior.
Okay, you could be durable in the NFL as a quarterback and still suck. I give you, as an example, Mr. Dave Craig, who played 22 years in the NFL for 9 different teams and was durable.
But he also played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
But never won anything.
which sucked ass. I mean, so next.
Well, that was your word, durable.
I'm talking about durable between
All
these,
right.
these 2 teams. And
Let me tell you
these
what we
2
have.
offenses.
Let me tell you what we
You're
have.
tired of me talking, aren't you?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm trying to get to content that I prepared.
Then get to
3
your
weeks ago, by the
Then
way.
cut me off and get to your content, jackass.
So I have 2 cases. I have a case for Dak Prescott and I have a case for Carson Wentz.
Okay.
After I give you the evidence,
And
you tell me which one you would rather have.
I will argue both of them. Go ahead.
All right. I believe this is from The Athletic MLBStadiums.com.
Great
credit
website we both subscribe to.
So, of course, they got to bring up Eli Manning. The NFC East may have a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback in Eli Manning, but the 38-year-old is at the end of his career and has not made the playoffs one time since 2011. But there are 2 young up-and-comers in the form of Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz. Which one can you make an argument for the best quarterback in the division? So Carson Wentz, let's go there first.
I'm ready.
On the surface, Wentz appears to be better statistically than Prescott, but the Eagles quarterback has struggled to stay on the field battling injuries the past 2 seasons. In 2017, Wentz was en route to an MVP season, which I still dispute that. He was having a great season. I would not give him the MVP in 2017. But appeared to have put himself in the conversation as one of the most elite quarterbacks in the entire league, but suffered his ACL tear in week 14. Since that, he has struggled to really be that same quarterback again. He hasn't been the same. After posting an 11-2 record and throwing 33 touchdowns and 3,200 yards that year, Wentz returned in 2018 to go 5-6 with 3,074 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions before yet another injury derailed his season. The potential is there, but he's got to prove he can stay healthy, and he's got to get that 2017 form, man, because he did not, even when he was healthy in 2018, he did not play like the 2017 Carson Wentz.
Well, he was weak.
It was not good. And then what even made him look worse is when Nick Foles came in for him with the same exact team and outplayed him.
And won the damn Super Bowl.
Outplayed him ridiculously.
And got a Super Bowl MVP.
Dak Prescott, on the other hand,
which
has
I had
been durable.
had to listen to that game on the road, on the radio.
Which one?
The Super Bowl.
Oh, God.
It was
the worst game ever.
Yeah.
By the way, I did wear a Patriots cap for that game. You got to pick one. Got to pick one for the Super Bowl. I picked the Patriots. But you know what I did? It was an old school Patriots logo. Pat the Patriot.
Oh, yeah.
Their old school logo.
Yep.
I went with that. The old Tony Eastland days.
3-point stance.
Dak Prescott has been durable for the Cowboys, done nothing but win since he's entered as a starter in 2016. Entering his age 26 season, he has a record of 32-16, including 3 winning seasons, all of which he did not miss a single game for the Cowboys. There's your durability.
I can't argue with that. I mean, you can't.
Wentz may have more touchdowns, but Prescott actually has a better career completion percentage, 66% to 63%. Neither of the quarterbacks have ever exceeded 4,000 yards. Also, Wentz might have done so in 2017 had he not gotten hurt. But you know what? He got hurt. So the world may never know. The criticism of Prescott is that he has been the beneficiary from one of the best running backs in the league, and he who shall not be named because he is holding out, allowing him to attempt fewer passes during the course of the game. Prescott has attempted 28 more passes than Wentz in 8 more games. Prescott averages 7.4 yards per attempt compared to Wentz's 7 yards per attempt. So there's your durability. There's your stats. Short and sweet. QBR to me is an extremely overrated. Prescott has a better QBR career-wise. I don't have it here, but I did look at it. But I put 0 stock in QBR. So you want durability. Is Carson Wentz notably more accurate than Dak Prescott?
Notably? Do I watch him every week? No. Or do I watch Dak Prescott every week? Yes.
Okay. So the eyeball test.
It's the eyes, man. I mean, ask JC, ask KT.
So there are thousands.
It's the eyeball test.
There are all these guys on our Facebook page that continuously knock Dak. Don't pay him shit. Look, he ain't worth shit. Bring another quarterback in.
I'm
here,
not saying
backups in. Dude, I don't get it.
I'm not saying don't pay the man shit. I've never said that. Am I saying you pay the man? Do you let the man set
the
ship?
bar? He's not trying to do that. I don't think he's
Bullshit,
trying to do
dude.
that.
No, that's where we're wrong. That's where we're off.
He is not trying to be the highest paid quarterback in the
Dude,
league.
his fucking
agent?
His agent, his
All right.
agency is trying to get him to set the bar.
That's their job.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely. It's their job for them to set the bar. The Joneses have put down an offer. Do we know what it is? No, we don't know what it is. Do I have a personal friendship with Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones? No, I don't. But I know that they have put down a very good offer to them.
Right.
And
Starting offer.
And we have gotten that from our boys
right
at the radio station.
Right.
We know that has been put there.
All three of them have been given top 5 offers.
All three of
Amari, Zeke, and Dak have all been given.
I don't even want to talk about
that. Would make them the top 5 paid in each of their positions. Right?
Yes, it would. But it is not. He does not deserve to set the bar. He does not.
And again, I don't think he's trying to.
His agency is trying to get him to set the bar.
Who is the bar right now? Who's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
So we're talking about somewhere in the realm of either Breeze or Rodgers. It's
Wentz.
It's certainly
Wentz at 32.
Wentz at 32.
Jared Goff has yet to sign his extension. Pat Mahomes has yet to sign his extension.
Tom Brady, the fucking GOAT, has signed an extension that will pay him somewhere around 25.
Yeah, up from 13.
Right.
Good for him.
Right. Because, of course, his wife makes 80 plus a year. So, I mean, good for him.
He can do better.
He is still the GOAT.
So the highest paid quarterback in the league is Carson Wentz at 32 a year.
Is he worth it? Is Carson Wentz worth 32 a year?
Well, you're paying him for 9 to 10 games a year.
I still say we have Rodgers or Brady on this team for 3 years. We win a minimum of 2. If we have either one of those two
Super Bowls.
2
over 5 years.
World champ. I'm talking about in 3. I'm talking about in 3. And we're not even talking about Zeke, his dumbass being in Cabo. So I don't even want to go into that. I mean, that dude does not. He's got 2 years left on his damn contract, son.
Yeah,
2 years.
Hold out next year, not this year.
2 years.
But I want to talk about Dak. So you think Dak is a worse quarterback than Carson? You'd rather have Carson?
I'm not saying that.
Carson makes 32. Should Dak make less or more?
Should Carson Wentz make more? I don't know.
Should Dak make more or less than
Carson Wentz doesn't deserve the money he's making.
No, but he's making 32.
He does not deserve
So
that
should
money.
Dak make more or less than Carson Wentz?
Doesn't deserve that.
Jeb, should Dak Prescott make more or less than Carson
Jeb,
Wentz?
here, I got some headphones. We can.
So here's the deal. Up until Carson Wentz signed that deal, Prescott was going to make about 18 to 20 million on his contract.
Yep.
After that big Wentz deal, all of a sudden he set the market, and it was the greatest thing that ever happened to Dak. So Dak is
Well, of course, because the market jumped.
correct.
Right.
So
Good for Dak.
yeah, gives you more leverage power.
Right.
Both making great arguments, but you can't jeopardize. And y'all have talked about this. You can't jeopardize the future of the Cowboys.
We're jeopardizing the entire fucking salary cap forever.
I disagree.
When you leverage what Zeke wants, what Dak wants, and then you still got to sign Byron Jones next year.
Byron Jones,
You got Jaden Smith coming in. I mean, you got all kinds
Amari Cooper.
You got all kinds of stuff. So the bar they gave, like Tim said, they got 3 contracts.
Yep.
On the top 5 for Zeke, Dak, and for Amari. That's solid. Those are fair offers, and so
Dude, I just don't get it. I mean, dude, is Carson Wentz better? Back to your question. Is Carson Wentz that much better than Dak? No, he's not, because he's not. He has no durability. He
was hurt every year he played in college.
He has never finished a fucking season. But
in 5 years, going back into college, he hasn't finished a season.
And we have Jeb and I have buddies that come down from North Dakota every year to see this football game, and we hear it all the time. But the guy is he better? Is he a better quarterback than Dak Prescott? If both guys were to go 16 games in the NFL, who would be the better quarterback? Who would I rather have?
Well, Dak, because Wentz can't go 16 games in the NFL.
I said if both guys could go 16 games in the NFL. Figure that out.
That's like saying if the Titanic can cross the Atlantic without sinking.
Well, you got to be a dick, man. Just follow me for a minute.
Okay. So they both play 16 games. Who's the better quarterback?
Athletically,
overall, who's the better quarterback?
Athletically, Wentz. Leadership-wise, like I said, everybody in that locker room
Who do you
will
want
follow
on your team?
Dak. Dude, you're gonna make me jump against what I've said the whole damn time.
No, I'm just asking who you want on your team.
I'm gonna pick Zach. I'm gonna pick Dak. I'm gonna pick Dak over Carson Wentz, but Dak does not deserve to set the fucking bar. He does not deserve to set the bar.
We're going to agree to disagree on this because I don't think Dak is trying to set the bar. I'm just saying.
How's he not?
You know what? Next week,
we're going to talk about Tom Brady
we
or
will have
Aaron Rodgers being
next
on our
week.
team.
Let's see if we can get Fish on and have him address this. Assuming there's no contract signed, which there won't be next week.
There won't.
So let's have Fish
They're
on.
trying to get them running back signed.
Let's have Fish on.
They're trying to get a running back signed. It's still got 2 years left on his fucking contract, and the dickhead is sitting in Cabo right now. He's sitting in Cabo. He's still got 2 years left on his contract, bro.
If we can't have Fish on, I'll talk to him. We can talk to him together in the middle of the week and record something for him addressing this because he is tied more into this than we are. So let's ask him that question.
We know 24 people between the two of us.
Is Dak
more
trying to set the bar for quarterbacks in the league? I would love to know what he thinks about that. So let's talk about that next week with Fish. We got a lot of other stuff we're going to get into. Cowboys are playing the 49ers right now, preseason. They're off to Hawaii after that. We'll get into how the Cowboys look in the preseason, how Dak looked in the preseason. We didn't get into that. We've got some information from our radio friends out that were in Oxnard actually watching practice all week, watching training camp all week, the last 2 weeks actually. And they're pretty critical of Dak. That he hasn't shown he hasn't really shown. No, he hasn't shown in camp so far the advancement that you would hope that he's seen. But again, it's camp. It's the first 2 weeks. They're coming back. They'll have camp at the Star. They'll finish the preseason off and go into the regular season. Of course, Dak is their starter. Looks like Cooper Rush is going to be the backup. Mike White will be out of football in 3 weeks, as he should be. But we'll discuss some more of that next week. Live from Studio 69 at Casa Naso Grande. I'm IndyCar Tim. He's Drunk Big Red. We want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to watch us live here at Studio 69, Casa Naso Grande, air-conditioned version.
Woo!
God, it was great in here.
Thank you, Mama, for letting us in the house.
We want to thank Rick for coming out and spouting some WWE with us. We'll have him back on again when we need to, because he's our wrestling guy now. And if he can't be here, he'll join us on the phone. But it's been a good one. It's been a long one. Thanks for everybody for hanging in with us. And we'll be back next week. Lance, why don't you take us out of here, brother?
Real quick, I just want to send a shout out to our Idaho folks. We love y'all. Thank you for listening. And our folks down in Nolens that are walking Bourbon Street, me and Jeb's favorite favorite red drink. Get you one of those. Zach, don't let mom and daddy do anything that I wouldn't do. But beyond that, again, to the Black Ring, 22 Kill. We love y'all. If you ever have any demons haunting you, please call me. Look me up. We will talk to you. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Please like, share, and give us some love. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast. Join us next time for a lot more alcohol and more drunk sports talk with Lance and Tim. Until next time, here's to you.
We're all drunk.
This is the funnest night ever.
My God, that's impressive.
Surprise, I'm here.
Absolutely.